silkscreen process today. Silkscreen is a very old process. See your t-shirts right, your shirts right there? Those are silkscreen. Made, done by the artist. And we will be using there's several means. There's photographic silkscreen, and then there's stencils. Anybody know what a stencil is?
Yes.
What's a stencil?
It's something that you trace around. You trace around some kind of shape.
That's right. And then what you cut out or don't cut out around it will give you your image. So we're going to do a Mimbres grasshopper today. Okay?
Fooled me.
First, we have to come up with our drawing. And what we do in silkscreen is just basically do an outline, a basic outline.
Adam, sit on the bottom.
Sit on the silk.
Have you done silkscreen? Now, the stencil that I use generally is this green professional film.
No!
Now, what it is, it has a green backing or a green film on the front and a plastic backing on the back. And what we're going to do, we need a mirror. Now, what I basically do is I take the paper onto the film. I forget my exact word. I swivel. So there's what it looks like. Okay, now I don't have my swivel blade, but what I'm going to show you is how I usually cut out a piece, and I cut it very delicate. I told Eric I was going to do a spider that we already had.
You guys sit on your bottom.
Anyway, each color will go on individually. See, what I've done is I've cut very lightly into the film. I don't want to cut into the plastic back. And we'll take that off. We'll have a color like that. Okay? Now, you still have the plastic on it, so the plastic backing is still on there right now. So I've just taken the green off. Now, if we did everything right, the stencil will turn out like this. And this is what I've cut from. You can see where I cut that off of. See where, and then I added little mountains in the background at the very end. Okay, so we still got the plastic on there. This is our stencil. This is the plastic. Now I'll show you how we get that onto the screen. Okay, this is silk. That's why it's called silk screen. Pull this way. See? What we'll do is remain the stencil up as we put it on. Put it on right there.
So is it sticky backing?
No, it's just sitting there right now, and what we're going to do is we're going to melt the green film onto the silk. Not melt it so it dissolves our image, but we're going to make it pliable enough that it's going to stick. And when we use that is in film adhering is what it just will adhere it. So you might want to sit back just a little bit because it's going to stick.
Can you not reuse a silk screen? Can it only be used once and then cannot be used again?
Oh no, I can wash this out with lacquer thinner and it will be perfectly
Ew.
clean.
That smells good. Oh yeah, it actually does. It does. Hey, if you're used to it, you like it.
I'm used to it.
I'm used to it. But sometimes it makes your eyes burn.
Yeah, let me put it over here.
There's certain smells that are interesting for art.
Now I can smell it and it smells good. It smells like blueberry. It's like a blueberry Jolly
See, and you can
Rancher.
see
The green
You can see where the green is getting darker. Okay, that's where it's adhering to the silk. And the silk I use is Japanese silk, and it's very expensive. And you can, like Mrs. White was saying, I can wash the screen out. When I'm done with this, I can wash it out with lacquer thinner, and it will completely dissolve that film. And my screen will be there to use again. Some of the kids are getting it there, aren't they? They see it's dark.
Whenever my mom washes windows, it's sort of like that all the time. That feels good.
Okay. See, now that's on. That's adhered onto the screen. This side is showing.
There, he's talking to
Okay.
us.
Now I'm going to let that dry for a bit as I tape it up. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull the backing off of that film in just a few minutes, which will open up these white areas where I've cut out to the silk. So if I pull this squeegee over there, I'll still have these areas open, so what I need to do is tape it off.
What if that stuck to your mouth?
Oh, it has before. It's just taped. So I'm going to block the rest of the screen off so we don't get any ink on the bottom, because we're doing a one-color print. Now most of my images are anywhere from 20 to 50, 60 colors. So that will take, if I do a 24-color print, then I have to have 24 different colors, different stencils cut out for that. And then if you're doing an addition of, say, we're going to do, how many kids do you have?
22.
Okay, so we're
We're going to make a small one?
We're going to make one for each of you.
Yeah!
No.
Do the teachers get one?
That's what I was make a 23.
We have 25 in the classes.
That's the nice thing about silk screen, is that you can make as many as you want.
Are you sure you're supposed to do this?
What?
He's sure alright. He's done this before. How do you get the tape off?
Just pull it off. It comes off real easy. Okay, now our film should be dry on the screen. So now
Does it smell good?
So we've got everything
Yeah.
masked off.
Now, yucca.
Mrs. White, do you want to see it? I have on one piece of paper, yes. Okay,
Here she
now,
comes, here she comes.
He's gonna fill it up. I didn't say it tastes
what
good.
we're going to do now,
If you say it smells good, why don't you marry it?
I didn't say I love it. It's white, look.
It's just a show.
okay, now we've got,
I didn't say I loved it.
I know, should I?
Puke. I like the smell of it. Can you touch the
yeah, you can touch the seed. See how soft that is.
Wait. Hey, you guys, let me feel it. Bubblegum. It smells like bubblegum.
Right
It's
now,
great.
I have all of this. I've got it completely
Bubblegum up close. Guys,
I'm sitting. There we
Now
go.
we're
Like
going
black
to-
and white.
We're sitting down.
up close.
Now we're going to take the backing
Michael.
off, that will open up the areas we cut out
He's looking
to the silk.
Thanks for sitting down. You can see it from over there.
Okay, now the silk is open.
easy like this.
Now we're gonna do it.
He's going to print.
Mariah, we can't sit on your bottom.
We're all doing fine. We don't need to say that about each other.
And the next thing we do, we're ready to start printing, except we need to position our paper. If we don't get the paper down there, it will. These are low tables, aren't they? You get this across. Nope, I stepped on you. We're going to just do one color today.
What's your question, Aaron?
Why did you cut out that first one?
I think to show how you cut the film.
Is that how they get pictures in books?
No, that's actually more of a commercial process than a fine art process.
He lined it up just right, and now what he's doing is putting tape to remind him where it is. It's really helpful for children to remain where they were.
Sarah.
Otherwise, it's causing some difficulties.
That's the squeegee, and that's to put the ink down onto the piece of paper. Put it down on piece of paper and see if you can put it in and go right over to the
And as
guy.
he turns, so you can see when you're done there, he's making sort of like a little building up high a little bit with tape. He's made, he sends the tape across once and then twice, so it's raised. When he puts that paper in, it'll just slide right into that corner, almost like it was a little building there, and it stops it. And that'll be exactly in position.
You can make a rap group out of that thing.
I did use double stick tape, I forgot. So this will probably stick.
Hey, I know a trick that you could use. You could just bend back a part of it of regular tape, and then it will just stick on.
You think that'll work?
Yeah. I'll show you.
We'll try it. I think it'll come up though, Aaron.
How about make a roll?
We'll try it without it. Okay, now we're about ready.
Bill, Adam, Bill, maybe one of you, please.
All right, let's scoot right over here. Because I'm going to use this area.
Gets up close and be sure not to be touching the table at all. Adam and Bill need to scoot back some.
I think what we'll do is that you guys can watch 4 or 5 of them, and we'll just rotate because we're going to do about 20. And that way everyone will be able to see what we're doing.
Just like when we're doing precise printing, and if somebody bumps your table, what happens to your printing? Yeah, it's messed up somehow, so he's going to make sure that, he doesn't want anything touching the table, no bumps on it. Yes.
We're doing blue today. Pretty dark, dark, dark blue that I used on my last piece.
Getting down, you can still see. We'll rotate, like you said, we'll rotate.
Save a line first.
Look how
Push it
hard.
down.
How do you clean that? Yes, tape.
Now he's peeling it off, right?
I left my double stick tape at home, so.
I don't think we have.
Whoa!
That is very wet. that is touched.
It will smear.
It will smear.
It won't look disgusting.
We're going to try to get it a little bit thinner here. Here we go. There, that's better. See?
Can Holly still stand here? How many are you gonna
Would
make?
you five come over here?
And 5
And, let's see, just sort of count yourselves over in that area 5, and you can go stand close.
4, 5.
Sean, come over here, please.
And the rest of you go up. We each watch 2. Stephen, go up with the other kids. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love her.
Tanner, go around back.
Adam, Bill, we're supposed to be here.
Vanessa, we're watching from back here.
Oh, what do you want? See you down there? That's the fish. Your mouths are blue. How many of us are
Your lips are blue.
23.
20,
Ashley, your mouth is blue.
23, 24, 25, somewhere thereabouts.
She's eating the paint. Who's eating the paint?
Who's going to be my
Ashley.
counter?
Me. Ashley, don't eat the paint.
I'll be your counselor.
Why your mouth is all blue?
I'll be your counselor.
Ashley's eating the paint.
Okay, would you come around back here?
Why is the mouth blue?
Heather, walk around back behind.
Okay.
Vanessa, walk around back.
Hey, 3. He said 5. Not 8. We each get one?
Yeah, that's what we're making.
Almost to 10. And then all we need is the paper stuff.
And it's the ink. It's kind of adhesive.
This last one, how does it go through? Oh, look at the bottom. It's green and blue.
There you go.
It feels like you got a bee on. That won't be good. Look at the bottom.
Would this group join me back behind and way over there, coming this way?
What about the rest of
The next 5 who have not been up can go to that corner and look. Who has not been up to see? Then go now and look. If you haven't come up to see, you go over here.
You've been up
No, she has something in her mouth.
Aaron, I haven't seen you up there. Go ahead and go look, Aaron.
Erin, you want to look?
You like the paint off of one of the grass. She goes there. Adam, you've seen already. Get back.
Oh, not stupid.
Clear line.
Not a jerk boy.
That's 13.
Oh.
How long will it take those to dry?
Just about 5 minutes. It'll air dry very quickly.
14. The capital is already dry. 14 days. Because I haven't deleted. Just put them right there. Yeah, I call them. Hey, you guys, we can't see.
How many is that?
15.
Can the tall people go up now?
Let me get our Miss White said we could get back our chairs. Adam, get out of our chairs.
Sean.
He did? Oh, Sean 15.
He did? Back where you were sitting. He did. 17. You guys seen 2 times. Go back where you were sitting.
Down, buddy.
Down, 2 times.
What color would you call this?
This dark midnight blue.
Close to me, that's what I would call it.
Looks like he started in this corner skip counting to keep track. How do you think he was skip counting? In groups of 5. So 5, 10, 15, and then 15 and 3. That tells him how many he has.
18. 19, 20.
As he lays them out, he's still making sure that the paint is not under a paper. Cover your mouth, thank you. See how careful he is? Whenever you're doing something, care and being very careful really counts a lot on what you end up with.
22.
How many?
What do you have? 18.
Paint?
23. 2 more.
What do you have in her mouth?
We need 5
Actually, he already has one more.
We need 2 more.
He already gave one up here.
You put her mouth in my ear.
That was a test.
Who's the little guy in the red and white? Thank you.
You guys look everywhere too. You.
10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. How did I skip?
2. It wasn't rude. 3 more. No, practice. That was 20. Now it's 2 more. 2 more. 1 more.
Here, bite me.
I'm gonna punch your lights out. Look at me. There's gonna be you last one in case you're not done. Look at you.
Oh, now he's skip counting by something else. There's 7 in a row. 7 in a row.
14.
7 in a row.
And 2 in a row. 21, 22. 23.
You know, that gets into multiplying later on. 3 times 7.
We're done. We're done.
How many do we have now?
24. 24. 24.
24. There's 7, 7, 7,
14.
3.
24? How many do we need?
Okay, we have 21. Oh, we had 24?
We have 24.
Okay, well, I'm going to do 3 for me to put back in my studio.
Hello. That was studio. We don't need one of these. The next 5 has to come up now. We don't need one of these. Or we can be here.
Okay, good enough. All right, then. Here, let's just leave that there and let it dry. Okay, and then we get the ink. What we do is put another piece of paper down.
I need this little guy sitting.
Sarah and Casey, can you sit down? Sarah and Casey, can you sit over that side?
And we're going to try to get as much of the ink off as we can. So we take it like that and lift it.
Watch this process. This is the careful part. She has extra little, is that just heavy paper that you have in little strips to help you?
Yeah, it's a mat board. Aaron and I came up with, we had no word for these. This is the most important tool I have in the studio. It cleans my squeegees, it mixes my ink, it cuts my ink. We use this all the time. We came up with no word for it.
What's it called?
Scratches.
Oh, we call them spatches.
Oh.
We made up our own word. Because it acts like a spatula and it's a lid. Okay, the ink is gone.
One of yours is...
Okay, and then what we need to do
How long
is
does it take to dry?
They will, if you look over in the corner, these should be getting dry.
I don't know if you noticed there's little buckets of water. I don't know if you need that or not. One has soaking of water.
What do you have in your mouth?
Okay, and then what I want to do, I'll clean my screen later. Now, if I wanted to save this image, see the image? Whoops, we got plenty of time. If we wanted to save this image for later, I could clean it with mineral spirits, which is weaker than lacquer thinner. Lacquer thinner will melt the whole thing and clean it off completely. Mineral spirits will just clean the ink and that is all. But it will keep the image on there. But I'm going to clean this later at the studio because we don't have the proper ventilation here. But I need to, you have to take care of your tools. See, this has to be cleaned right away. It's like using your paintbrushes. If they're not clean, what happens to them?
Right.
Then you get all liquid, and you have to buy new ones.
Better not use that with $100 for a piece.
Okay, we're just going to clean this real quick. Some brushes, I have a brush that is $120, and it is bigger than, it's about this. The end of it's about like this. It's sable. It's red sable.
Sable is an animal.
Probably different
But they
now.
don't, but they don't kill the animal. They use the tail or parts of the tail. They don't cut its tail off.
Oh.
They take that little piece of hair right here. See?
I didn't know.
Or they can cut part of the end off the tail and then slice it
It's like when they give them a haircut, when you get a haircut. Okay, and that is the screening process.
That's really interesting.
I'm going to sign these for you so that you
Wow,
can take them.
thank you. The students have been doing their
Are
own
you going to give
artwork.
us an autograph?
I think that's it.
I have an autograph with some rock singers.
As you notice, when he did special art,
Hip hop.
he had to make sure to start with everything was clean, just like we did when we did our origami. Everything was clean first, our hands were clean, and we will be continuing some of our origami in the making of it for the hospital. So if you'll all now very quietly go wash your hands and come back to your desk, he'll work on that while you work on your art. But you have to make sure your hands are very clean because this goes to the hospital.
Where is this?
Okay?
27.
Not that far now.
6 groups.
I know it. 24.
Good.
Okay?
We're
And
getting
then
there.
25.
Skip counting.
27.
plus 3 is
Standing way
27.
back.
Okay?
Thanks for staying
So
way
this
back.
is an addition. There are 27 in the addition, so these will be numbered and signed. So I will start over here and do number 1/27. That's the first one of 27, and the last one will be number 27 of 27. And then there won't be any more then. So it's a limited edition. Okay? And that's what makes printing valuable. Okay? We're getting ready to raise the price on Aaron's. Aaron did a 3-color silk screen called Purple Petal. We sold them in the gallery this past month, and we're getting ready to raise the price on them a little bit because we're getting toward halfway through the edition.
Can we sell these?
I guess.
No.
You should probably save these, don't you think?
I'm going to sell
Put your
mine.
scrapbook. Okay, that's what I was explaining. I'm going to sign these. I'll leave them on the table for you to take later on, all right?
What's that? What's that? Well, you
Okay,
can
Mr. White, I think I'm done.
Now, Fermin, what would if you were doing an edition like this and putting it in the gallery, what would they be worth?
What's that?
You were doing an edition like this and putting them in the gallery, what would they go for a piece?
A 1-color, $85.
Oh my goodness. If you were selling these in the gallery, it would go for $85 each.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, I'm done. I'm going to sign these, and then I'll just leave them here. That's right. And the rest I'll sign. Yes.
I was standing there.
Now, he's going to need some time to work, so we're going to work over here with our, if you wash your hands, you're working on your art. You need more paper?